What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is. Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing.
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked. Yes, I know. I was just thinking.
No wonder it took so long, then. I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks. Just how smart are Mabari supposed to be, anyway? Do you think they understand everything we say? Oh, is that so? You could just be listening to the tone of my voice. You could be an utter moron for all we know. Hey now! There's nothing saying that a moron can't be cute and adorable. Who's the cute and adorable puppy?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for Mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected. So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me. That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Are you certain you want to bring that thing with us? It could be dangerous. And large. You're welcome. It's good to have a purpose, you know.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
Oh, good eye.
He's just a little boy. He doesn't understand she's gone.
If he has foolishly run off, then he is no doubt dead. You should get used to that fact.
Nice. Maybe you want to kick her in the head while you're at it. Somebody's been drinking.
Welcome, Zevran. Having an Antivan Crow join us sounds like a fine plan.
Oh, you are another companion to be, then? I wasn't aware such loveliness existed amongst adventurers, surely.
Or maybe not.
How marvelous you are. I am so happy.
Does anyone else feel the urge to vomit? No? 'Tis just me?
Don't you ever talk? You know, make polite conversation, just to put people at ease.
You mean that I should remark upon the weather before I cut off a man's head?
Never mind. Why do you always go on about how stupid I am? I'm not stupid, am I?
If you need to ask the question...
Because it hurts my manly feelings, you know. Or one of them.
Then I'll be sure to write you an apology once all of this is over.
I was educated by the Chantry. I studied history. They don't make stupid Templars.
Then I must have been mistaken. I'm very impressed.
No, you're not. You're not even listening to me.
My, you are smarter than you look after all. Your Chantry must have been very proud.
Would the Swamp Witch consider explaining the nature of magic to me? I am most curious.
Surely there is another who would not be so bothered by your tiresome questions. Perhaps Alistair.
I fear the second warden has not the knowledge to answer my question.
You might ask him anyhow. Certainly whatever he happened to come up with would serve as amusement.
I do not understand. I seek enlightenment and not amusement.
You're apt to get much further seeking amusement, I assure you.
The Swamp Witch is a most confusing creature. I do not understand it.
You're not the first one to say so. The first golem, perhaps.
I will ask the Swamp Witch later, when it is less inclined to make bizarre responses to my queries.
You will be waiting some time then, I fear.
So, you remember your old master's name, right? And everything about him?
Is it still going on about my memory? Such focus must be incredibly difficult for it to maintain.
You don't remember killing him, or how you got all free-willed or anything, but you do remember the next 30 years?
More or less. My former master did something to me which I do not remember. What is its point?
Ah, how could you know he did something to you, unless you remember it?
Let us, for argument's sake, assume it is correct. I murdered the fool on purpose, and remember it. Why would I lie?
Because you, could do it again.
Yes. I waited 30 years, biding my time until I could strike. Soon my betrayal shall be complete.
Exactly! I knew it! Ha!
Well, do not tell anyone. I want it to be a surprise when it happens.
You know what would do you some good?
A pair of nose plugs?
Go out, find a girl. Doesn't matter who. As long as there's no pants involved.
What makes you think I haven't?
I can smell purity a mile away. It's a talent.
That proves to be useful, I'm sure.
Not that often, it turns out. Be much better if I could smell cheese.
You have my deepest condolences.
Yep, so do you.
I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Think of it, Zevran. You may have stumbled into a most delightful possibility for your future.
Oh, are you dispensing professional advice now?
It simply occurs to me that if, say, Alistair were to become King of Ferelden, he may have need of someone of your talents.
From what I know of the fellow, it seems there would be a fair difference between what he needed and what he cared to make use of.
If Alistair becomes king, it would certainly not be through any brilliance on his part. Whoever puts him there, now there's the one who will need you.
Now that's an interesting thought. You've such a devious mind, my dear. Why have we not made love as of yet?
For what purpose? I would sooner stab you in the face than let you touch me, elf.
And somehow that makes the idea even more intriguing. You know, Wynne, I have a friend back in Antiva who would be very excited to meet you.
I'm sorry?
Salvail prefers women with experience and maturity. He says they have more substance, are more robust and flavorful.
Does he now?
Indeed. No need to deny it. Zevran knows a fine bird when he sees one.
I am not a bird.
There is no reason to deny yourself the pleasure of male companionship, after all, yes? You might balk now, but I assure you, Salvail is a gentleman of means and quite handsome.
I am going to walk away now. Calmly, coolly. This is to save you the pain of having your brain forcibly removed through your ears.
This must be a Ferelden thing, I swear.
I do wonder, is it permissible for two Grey Wardens to... Oh, what is the word I search for?
Caboodle?
Fraternize.
What's wrong with fraternizing?
It seems most undisciplined for an organization that claims it will do whatever is necessary to end the Darkspawn threat.
One thing has nothing to do with the other.
Oh no? And what if a Grey Warden was forced to choose between the Warden he loved and ending the Blight? What should his choice be?
That is a ridiculous question.
And I have my answer. Most kind of you.
I find it very odd.
It meaning me. Am I in it now too? I feel honored.
For one who professes to be a warrior, I find it remarkably weak-willed and indecisive.
Thank you?
It also likes to hide its many weaknesses behind a veil of jocularity.
For a statue, you know a lot of big words.
Is there a reason it enjoys following others so much? Especially when it is in a position to lead.
Have you ever been responsible for someone else's life? Or a lot of other lives? Or an entire nation?
Of course not.
Then shut up.
I will remember this moment when the birds come.
Were you really in that cage for 20 days?
It might have been closer to 30. I stopped counting after a while.
What did you do? I mean, 20 days is a long time to sit in one place and do nothing.
On good days, I posed riddles to the passers-by, offering them treasures in exchange for correct answers.
Really?
No.
Ah, too bad. That's got serious potential.
It
Dwarf.
shall be done.
What?
Stop tripping me.
Stop tripping yourself.
If you were significant enough to notice, I wouldn't step on you.
Oh, well, your mother.
That was disappointing. I expected better from you.
Yeah, sorry, I was in a rush.
And who is this, Eamon? Some new stray you picked up on the road? And here I thought it was only royal bastards who play the nursemaid too, not wild elves.
Well, you're admitting the royal part. That's a start.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire.
Why are you smiling like that? You look suspiciously like the cat that swallowed the pigeon.
Canary.
What?
I look like the cat that swallowed the canary.
I once had a very large cat, but not my point. My point is, why are you smirking?
You were watching her, with great interest, I might add. In fact, I believe you were enraptured.
She's our leader. I look to her for guidance.
Oh, I see. So what guidance did you find in those swaying hips, hmm?
No. I wasn't looking at, you know, her hindquarters.
Certainly.
I glanced in that direction, maybe, but I wasn't staring. Or really seeing anything, even.
Of course.
I hate you. You're a bad person.
Oh, it's good to see you again, friend. You were so generous to me before, and these are other veterans.
I'm an orphan.
Oh, and an orphan. Please, milady, can you spare some coin? I am insulted. A veteran campaigner, am I? And Oli is as bereft of parents as anyone's ever been.
My mom is especially dead.
There she is! Now, no crowding. Let the good sir breathe. There are a lot of unfortunates in the alienage, sir. Many veterans, orphans, the diseased, and sad tales of all sorts.
I still don't have my parents.
Found it?
You aren't a real beggar.
All I heard was there was free coin over here. Fine.
Strange. I feel like I'm back at the Abbey, trying not to get chosen last for the sparring teams.
Might I offer you a bit of advice, my good friend Alistair?
I like my hair the way it is, thank you.
Truly. As you wish. Though my advice is regarding something else completely. It has to do with your recent exertions with your fellow Grey Warden that I overheard.
Oh.
It did seem as if you just got going when all grew quiet. You are feeling all right, yes? Perhaps you're tired.
We aren't talking about this, are we? Did I hit my head?
I have some roots from home that you may chew if you need energy. As for volume, perhaps you ought to try arching your...
Whoa. Awkward.
You Fereldans are so finicky. How will you ever learn how to pleasure each other unless you talk about it?
Not listening. La 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 la.
So, you met this sibling of yours?
Half-sister, but yes.
And you gave the woman money?
Yes.
Why would you do such a thing? This woman is a parasite who will appreciate nothing you do. You know this.
It's moments like this when I truly appreciate the difference between you and me.
It is moments like this when I truly wonder at the difference between you and a toadstool.
All right, I've come up with one. A question that you can't answer.
Are you talking to me?
That's right. You think you're so smart. I've got an academic question that I bet you won't be able to answer.
Oh, I doubt that.
So tell me then, what was the name of Andraste's husband?
This is a religious question, not an academic one.
You're joking, right? A 5-year-old could answer that question. Do you not know more than a child?
I care nothing for your religion, and this game of yours is over.
Oh, how the mighty have crumbled.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denerim in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that. So, why would the Crows send you, Zevran?
Is there some reason why they should not?
Plenty of reasons. Starting with the fact that you weren't exactly the best they had, were you?
Slander and lies. For shame, Alistair.
I'm not an idiot. Well, not most of the time. You're no raw recruit, but I've seen you fight. You're no master of combat by any means.
Assuming that I intended a fair fight, that would indeed be a problem.
But the Crows must have master assassins the way you describe them. Men with years and years of experience. Why not send them?
Why not indeed? It is a mystery for the ages.
Oh, I get it. You're not going to tell me.
Morrigan said you were sharp. No liar, she.
You
Very
couldn't
well.
hurt me if you wanted to, witch, you know that?
'Tis so.
Dwarves resist magic, woman. There's nothing you could do.
Nothing. I could not, for instance, kick you in your manhood.
Oh.
Do you wish to see?
Not necessary.
Well, the offer stands. Have a care where your eyes linger, Alistair.
Yes, well, don't worry. It's not what you think.
I see.
I was looking at your nose.
And what is it about my nose that captivates you so?
I was just thinking that it looks exactly like your mother's.
I hate you so much.
What?
Never mind.
So, what would you do if someone told you that they loved you?
Check their eyesight first, perhaps. Is this someone I should know about?
No, I mean, pretend you're a woman.
I am a woman, Alistair. That shouldn't be too hard, but I'll give it a try.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Just pretend you're another woman. Someone told you that they loved you. How would you react?
Well, that depends. Does this someone just blurt it out? Do I love them back? I need context.
I don't know if you love him back. Maybe you do. You've spent a lot of time with this person.
Perhaps you need to wait for the right moment. You could get her alone in camp. Give her a gift, perhaps.
Oh, I wasn't talking about me. Just, forget I said anything.
As you wish. Alistair, what's this?
It's a sock?
It's a filthy sock. How did it find its way to my bedroll?
Maybe it likes you. Socks are sneaky like that. Anyway, it's not mine.
It has your name stitched on it.
Oh, part of Templar training back at the Chantry, the men were always getting their socks mixed up. Anyway, sorry about that. I'll take it from you right now. One of my socks is feeling a little damp anyway. A change would be nice.
You're going to put it on? It's filthy.
And dry. We're not exactly traveling in the lap of luxury here.
What hideous habits you've picked up.
So, are you going to continue staring at me as if I am covered in eels?
Eels would be something.
Prudery. How charming. I expected paranoia. This is much better. I prefer to be stared at lustfully, if at all.
Keep trying, then.
Oh? Then shall I demonstrate an act or two, and you may tell me hot or cold?
I'll save time. Cold.
You are a tease.
You sing a great deal.
Yes, I do. Music lifts my spirit. Would you like me to stop?
I didn't say that. Was that part of your chant?
No, it was a ballad about a highwayman and the tavern girl who loved him. Could you not tell?
All your language sounds the same to me. I thought you were singing of vegetables, actually.
It is begun.
You're female, Liliana, right?
I am? That's news. When did that happen?
I just wanted some advice. What should I do if I think a woman is special and...
You want to woo her? Here's a good tip. You shouldn't question her about her femaleness.
All right, yes, good point.
Why do you ask? Are you afraid things will not proceed naturally?
Why would they? Especially when I do things like ask women if they're female.
It adds to your charm, Alistair. You're a little awkward. It is endearing.
So I should be awkward? Didn't you just say not to do things like that?
Just be yourself. You do know how to do that, don't you?
All right, forget I asked.
Cruelty on her face? Is that really what I am?
I can't believe I kicked my own ass.
I saw what you were doing back there.
Oh?
Don't play innocent with me.
What are you talking about?
You playing with that kitten.
There was no kitten.
Sten, I saw you. You were dangling a piece of twine for it.
I was helping it train.
You're a big softy.
We will never speak of this again.
Softy.
Stop that.
Stop what?
That. Looking at me and giggling.
I can't help it. You're so big and stoic. Who would have thought you'd be a big softy?
Stop saying that. I am a soldier of the Beresad. I am not a softy.
Softy.
I hate humans.
Aren't you chilly, Sten?
Chilly. I don't know this word.
It's much warmer where you're from, isn't it? Don't you feel cold?
I suppose.
I don't imagine we can find a cloak in your size, can we?
What?
Nothing. Don't mind me. Now, I wonder where I could get a skein of good wool yarn. You must know that murder is wrong, I assume.
I'm sorry, are you speaking to me?
That is why you wish to leave your crows. A crisis of conscience.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Joke if you wish, but I have the feeling that deep down you regret the life you have lived.
It's true. I regret it all.
Must you be such a child? Are you incapable of a single serious conversation?
I know. I'm terrible and it makes me sad. may I rest my head in your bosom? I wish to cry.
You can cry well away from my bosom, I'm certain.
Did I tell you I was an orphan? I never knew my mother.
Gad, I give up. Have you changed your mind yet? Are you willing to speak seriously?
Of your bosom? As you wish.
No, I do not wish to speak of my bosom.
But it is a marvelous bosom. I have seen women half your age who have not held up half so well. Perhaps it is a magical bosom?
Stop talking about my bosom.
But I thought you wished to speak seriously.
I do. I thought, however foolishly, that you might be willing to speak of your past.
We could do that. There have been many bosoms in my past, though only few as fine as yours.
Enough. I'm ending this conversation. I shall do it.
You have not asked me about my conscience for some time, my darling Wynne.
That is correct. And I am not your darling.
So once again I am rejected, just as I am by the cruel, cruel fates. They are harsh mistresses to the elves.
Zevran, I am old enough to be your grandmother.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
And what would you do with me if you had me, This is a game you play, nothing more.
You are a cynical woman, Wynne. Cynical and powerful. It drives me mad with desire.
I am going to walk away now.
It is begun. Do not truly think I look as my mother does, do you?
Have you really been thinking about that all this time?
I am simply curious.
And not insecure in the slightest, I'm sure.
I think I look nothing like her.
I don't know. Give it a few hundred years and it'll be a spot-on match.
I said that I look nothing like her.
All right, got it. Totally different. I see that now.
So let us pretend that I do, indeed, believe that murder is wrong.
We are not having this conversation.
Were I to believe such a thing, what would I do with it? Feeling guilt about things one can no longer change seems so very time-consuming, with little hope for actual gain.
But you could change what you do in the future.
What would that require exactly? It seems to me that feeling guilty would take up a great deal of my time as it is.
Perhaps you could save a life instead. One for every life you have taken.
That is a great many lives to save and feel guilty as well. Perhaps I could do one or the other.
It is not a game, Zevran. You either know right from wrong, or you do not.
I am so confused. I think I may cry. May I lay my head in your bosom?
No. No, you may not.
You are so very cruel. How is it that you do not feel guilty?
I feel guilty for ever having spoken to you.
So you've heard, I hope, how I'm going to be king, with a crown and everything.
Proud of yourself, are you?
Well, they don't let just anyone be king, you know. They don't let evil forest witches be king, for instance.
There was a Ferelden king once who drooled on himself in such volume that he required a constant attendant to wipe his chin in court.
You're making that up.
Not at all. The kings of old would be pleased to see that their bloodline has not strayed very far from its roots.
I think you make her very happy.
Oh, not this again. I'm ready this time.
I just wanted to say that this was something good for both of you. Being a Grey Warden isn't easy. I'm glad you found each other.
Oh, yes, I bet you are indeed.
Cherish this. It may not last.
And?
That's all I had to say.
Really? No pinching my cheeks? No making me blush?
Of course not. I like you, Alistair. You deserve to be happy.
Not even pinching my cheeks a little? Do you really know what's going on here? The Blight, the Civil War? I really wonder how much of it you understand. We're all special, big parts to play. Even you, especially you in some ways. You are the Mabari. You guard one of the most important people... What? You want to play? But I'm talking. Why doesn't anyone want to hear me talk?
Don't look at me like that. No, absolutely not. There is no time. We have work to do. Fine. Bring me the stick. But this is the last time, I swear it.
It has become very close with the other Grey Warden.
Yes. I suppose I have at that.
I find this difficult to comprehend. It is whiny and weak, and constantly laughing.
Then I guess a romance between you and I is completely out of the question. Hmm?
And the attempts at humor, I cannot understand how it is endured.
Well, maybe you should ask her why she likes me so much instead of bothering me with it.
It has a loud mouth. Why its head has not been crushed already is hard to imagine.
Or maybe you just happen to figure she likes me a lot more than you.
Don't be foolish.
Yes, I thought so. Just watch your step, or I'm totally telling.
I'm going to stand over here now. There was a man in the village who reminded me of the drunken dwarf.
They had some dwarves just like me, huh?
No, none of the dwarves were similar. They were quiet and respected, more or less. No, the one I remember was a human. He vomited in the street constantly. Then he wandered into a snowstorm and froze to death.
Huh? And how was that like me?
Did I say similar? I meant I hoped he was similar.
I think I had a wife like you once.
I have never heard of a thing called a Qunari.
Then you have not been listening. We did not row to shore last year. We have been about for centuries.
I have listened. I have done little else, in fact. And yet I do not remember anyone mentioning such a Qunari in all my years in the village.
Relying on humans as a source of education is a fool's errand.
They are rather ignorant, aren't they? And feeble, at the best of times.
We have creatures on Parvolan that are similar. The humans call them monkeys. They are dull, cowardly vermin. They cry out shrilly when threatened and throw their own feces.
That is an excellent comparison. I wonder if they're related.
Possibly.
Ah, it has found its way back to me. Excellent. Now it can watch me pop this demon's head like an overripe grape. Yes!
You are very beautiful, Morrigan.
Tell me something I do not know.
But you are always dressed in such rags. It suits you, I suppose. A little tear here, a little rip there to show some skin. I understand.
You understand I lived in a forest, I hope?
Maybe we could get you in a nice dress one day. Silk. No, maybe velvet. Velvet is heavier, better to guard against the cold in Ferelden. Dark red velvet. Yes. With gold embroidery. It should be cut low in the front, of course. We don't want to hide your features.
Stop looking at my breasts like that. 'Tis most disturbing.
You don't think so? And if it's cut low in the front, we must put your hair up. Show off that lovely neck.
You are insane. I would sooner let Alistair dress me.
It'll be fun, I promise. We'll get some shoes too. Shoes! We could go shopping together.
I wish to say that it has been pleasant fighting at the Qunari's side.
I feel the same. You are a remarkable construct, Kadan. A warrior to be feared.
No more than the Qunari, surely. The way it strikes down its foes, marvelous.
I smile each time you roar a battle cry, knowing our foes tremble.
I could watch you fight all day long. The skill you display, the form, how the light plays on its muscles. I mean, yes, well done with the fighting.
You as well.
Right.
You never did answer my question about that filth you so enjoy.
That's right, I didn't.
How is it that you never seem to run out? Are you purchasing it somewhere?
Nobody sells the good stuff.
Then are you making it? I don't see a still at the camp. And you aren't walking around with a keg, so unless you're... Oh, no.
What? Where's that perverted elven mind of yours gone?
That would explain the smell. Suddenly, I'm not so interested in trying a sample.
Really? You will? This is where I wake up, usually. Or everyone points and laughs because I have no clothes on. You know, you never did tell me how you passed the time in that cage for so long.
No, I didn't.
So... what did you do in there?
A training exercise. I would observe an object, and then try to think of all the words in your language which began with the same letter as its name.
That... Wait, just wait. You're joking again, aren't you?
No.
You are not telling me that you played I Spy against yourself for 20 days?
There are a lot of things in Lothering that begin with G. Do you know of the Cassandra, the sundew in the common tongue?
I do not believe so.
No. You are so alike, I thought you kindred.
What is that supposed to mean? What is the sundew?
A flower.
Oh? I am a flower, am I? How unexpected.
That entraps and devours insects.
Ah, now that I expected.
Some architect clearly suffered from an unrequited love of the pointed arch.
I spy, with my little eye, something that begins with G.
Is it a Grey Warden? Is it in fact you?
Ooh, you're really good at this.
Very well. Yes, Alistair?
My shirt has a hole in it.
I see. And?
Can you mend it when we get back to camp?
Can't you mend your own clothes? Why do I have to do it?
Sometimes I pick up too much fabric and it ends up all puckered and the entire garment hangs wrong afterwards. And you're, you know, grandmotherly. Grandmothers do that sort of thing, don't they? Darning socks and whatnot. You don't want me to have to fight Darkspawn in a shirt with a hole, do you? It might get bigger. I might catch cold.
Oh, all right. I'll mend your shirt the next time we set up camp.
Oh, and while you're at it, the elbows kind of need patching too.
Maker's breath, I'm beautiful. Did you see that? Did you see me? Magnificent.
Congratulations, you found a waste bin.
So are all of your kind similarly powerful, Qunari?
I am not here to satisfy your curiosity, creature.
That is true. I suppose I sounded like a human chattering away. I apologize.
No, it is I who should apologize. You are no human. You are a vastly superior construct.
That's kind of the Qunari to say. If all your people are like you, it's a wonder you haven't crushed the humans under your heel.
I have wondered the same thing.
One just needs to look at them. They're so...
small.
Exactly.
You and I, we are of the same mind, Kadan.
So, Shael, when you were standing there all that time, did you sleep?
I have no need to sleep. My body does not tire or do, other flesh-related functions.
But don't you get bored? Wouldn't you want to dream at least?
I do not dream. This is what it does when it sleeps. It paws its nose and mumbles incoherently.
Yes, of course. I thought we all... You watch me?
I watch all closely when they are still at night. There is little else to do.
For hours and hours?
I count the breaths. It helps to overcome the overwhelming urge to crush their faces while they sleep.
Well, I won't be doing much of that anymore. So tell me something. Do you feel pain when you get hit in combat?
This is when it squeals loudly and spurts blood about. This is when it feels pain.
Maybe. I've seen you take some bad hits. Don't you feel anything?
Anger, rage even, perhaps a little distress. Is this pain?
I'm not sure. I don't think I'd call it distress, exactly. It's more...
For me, it is more...
That that sounds more like a bowel movement. I mean that sharp, stabbing... Ah! Like that?
No, nothing like that.
No? Huh. Good to know. Ow!
What? Stop fussing with it. You'll make it worse.
It itches.
Yes, it's healing. Don't touch it.
But it's distracting. Can I rub it through the bandage? That's not really scratching.
Alistair, if you open that wound up, I'm not going to heal it again. You can just treat it yourself. And if it festers, weeping bloody pus, and burns like the flames of Andraste's pyre, don't come to me. All I'm going to say is, Alistair, didn't I tell you not to touch it?
It won't really fester, will it?
Why don't you try scratching and see?
I guess it doesn't itch so much now.
Let us try to get through this without my being rendered into so many pulverized pebbles, yes? Or eaten by the dragon. It might give passing a stone all new meaning, but I don't want to be there for it.